Hello everyone and welcome to another update of my Project Pan Porn. In case you missed my intro or my previous update, I will have them both linked down below in my description box. The intro is where I really talk about what this project is all about, but essentially I am trying to hit pan on as many eyeshadows as I possibly can in 2017. Moving on, at the end of my last update, I had settled on using 3 palettes and 2 eyeshadows. So the first palette I'll talk about really quickly here. This is the Afterdark palette from Urban Decay. I have not hit any pan on any of these eyeshadows. I honestly have not used them that frequently. I'm not that inspired by this palette as a whole. I really love the shades Alter and Scene. The first 2 like lightest shades in the palette. Scene is stunning. I'm so in love with that eyeshadow because it's just this pinky rose gold magic. So Alter and Scene I've used the most, Supersonic a little bit. The other shades, you know, I played with here or there. I think I used Backfire the most out of like the somewhat darker shades, the deep purple color. I'm not really crazy about this palette, to be completely honest. I really kind of regret buying this. This is definitely one of the biggest regrets that I have, but oh well. I cannot return it and I'm not really gonna try and sell it or anything. I'm not really big on that, makeup reselling. Not my thing. So I'll just, you know, use it here and there. I'm probably not going to use it much more this year because I'm working through so many other things, but we'll see. I might circle back to it and try and hit pan on like Alter or Scene or something. So this wasn't very exciting for me working on this palette, to be completely honest. I didn't really learn anything from it. So anyway, I'm just going to put it aside and move on for now. The next palette I have decided to retire is the Vice LTD. So I was using this mostly because of Road Stripe, and I just found myself being so reliant on Road Stripe. Because it's that duochrome shadow, it has that little like violet shift in it, I just find that it helps like transform things, and it's just so brightening, and I really love that eyeshadow. Like, it's honestly probably my favorite eyeshadow of all time, but I was just using it too much all the time with every eye look, and things were starting to look the same. Not that I was using like the same colors or doing the same thing, but it's just because Road Stripe is so distinct, I really just needed to branch out and try some other highlight shades. So that's what I'm going to be hopefully doing, you know, retire Road Stripe for like at least a month before I come back to it. So before I even started this project, I already had hit pan on Road Stripe, so I'm not counting it as one of my pans, but I did hit pan on Anonymous because I was using it to set my eyeshadow primer. The other shadows in this palette, I used Gash a little bit, the red shade, and Acid Rain actually quite a bit. This really pale, like iridescent green. It's such a cool eyeshadow. So not a whole lot of progress overall with this palette, but because I hit pan on Anonymous and I'm trying to take a break from Road Stripe, I think it's time to put it aside for now and maybe pull out another Vice palette sometime in the future. I'm going to talk about the ColourPop eyeshadows really quick before I move into the Modern Renaissance palette. So I hit 2 of the Super Shock shadows that I was working on, Paradox and Kennedy, and I did hit pan on Paradox. Not really surprising because it's very similar in tones to eyeshadows from the Modern Renaissance palette, so it was really, really easy to hit pan on it. And it's only a little tiny bit of pan, but hey, pan is pan. And the other one, Kennedy, I did not hit pan on. I should not really have put this in this challenge at this time because it does not go with the other shadows that I've been working on. If I had used this when I was using the Sweet Peach palette, I absolutely would have hit pan on it, but as much as I still really love peach tones, that's not what I've been working on over the last month. So I did not hit pan on Kennedy, so I'm going to pull Kennedy out anyway, even though I didn't hit pan on it yet. And I hit pan on Paradox, so that's going away. I'm not going to choose any new ColourPop eyeshadows to add in at this time. I will probably do what I did last time and do like a little mini viewer's choice on Instagram where I asked you guys what Super Shock shadow or shadows I should use. So I'll probably do that because I do want to try and hit pan on them. I just don't really want to focus on them at this time. I want to work on some palettes. So Anyway, that's all I have to say about the ColourPop. Now, the Modern Renaissance palette, my really well-loved Modern Renaissance palette. I am surprised and also not surprised with how easily I managed to hit pan on so many of these shades. I hit pan on four of these shades. One of them I actually hit pan on tonight because something was just telling me to use this palette, and I decided to use Venetian Red, and I hit pan on it tonight. But the thing with this palette though, it's not even that exciting, and hitting pan on it is so anticlimactic because unlike some shadows where like the pan is so deep, you can see the little dips start to form and you're like, yes, soon, any day I'm gonna hit pan. With this palette, it's like you don't really see a dip, you just hit pan and you're like, how? I've used this thing like 5 times, how have I hit pan on it? I don't understand. So that's kind of been my experience with this palette. So I've hit pan on 4 shades, like I said. The first shadow that I hit pan on is Tempera, and I was actually using that to set my eyeshadow primer before I started using Anonymous. So that's how quickly I hit pan on Tempera. It was ridiculous. I put this in my Project Pan Porn, and it was like 5 days later I hit pan on Tempera. I just was like, okay, all right. And then I ended up using it a few more times just because I was like reaching for this palette instead of the Vice LTD, so I was forgetting to use Anonymous, which is why the pan is so large on Tempera, because I just kept using it and forgetting. I also hit pan on Vermeer, this really pale like champagne shadow. Gorgeous. I used it so much, and with the Burgundy x9 palette. A beautiful shadow, really easy to hit pan on. I also use that one wet. I've talked about this many times, but in case you don't know, for a lot of glittery shadows, I tend to use them wet because I like the way that they apply so much better. These shadows are fine to apply dry, like I don't mind it. I just find that you get that extra metallic pop when you just use a little tiny bit of Fix Plus. So that's normally what I do, and I'm sure that helped me hit pan on that faster, but still. And the other 2 shadows I hit pan on are Love Letter and Venetian Red. Not surprising for me, maybe surprising for some other people if they don't really reach for those bold colors, but for me, I wear like pinks and reds and stuff. I love those shades. So using those 2 was so easy and so much fun, and I feel like I can hit pan on all of these shadows. I'm not joking. There's 10 shadows I haven't hit pan on yet, and I feel like I absolutely can, and probably in very little time. Just based on my performance history with this so far. These are the easiest shadows I've ever panned. Red Ochre is also in my Rainbow Pride project pan, so I just wanted to keep this palette in rotation a little bit more. That's also why I'm only focusing on this palette and one other palette for my project pan porn for at least the next month, because I really want to give them attention. Instead of dividing my attention over so many things, I want to focus it a little bit more. I want to get a little bit more progress on my Burgundy x9, and I want to see if I can hit a lot more shadows in this palette and then some pan on my other one. So now for the really fun, exciting part. So I had the idea to do a little mini viewer's choice for this project because I wanted to get you guys a little bit more involved in it, as I said in that video. So I asked you guys if you wanted to vote on 5 choices that I pulled from my collection, and I always think that nobody's gonna vote, because I've totally been that kid who invited people to like a birthday party and no one showed up. Like, that's just what my life has always been. So whenever I throw something like that out there, I'm like, no one's gonna vote. This is gonna be so embarrassing. I'm gonna have to pull the video. It's gonna be so awkward. And a lot of people voted. Like hundreds of people voted. I was shocked, and just, it made me so happy. So thank you guys so much for taking that time to vote. It was really cool reading your guys' comments and seeing what you guys wanted to see and what your like reasoning for stuff was. It was a really cool experience, and it took forever to tally everything up, but I did tally everything up old school. That's how I roll in my little notebook. I have a lot of project pan stuff and ideas and things that I think of. I was writing down just on little scraps of paper, and I just wanted to try and carry around a little notebook to make my life a little easier. So anyway, I had 5 palettes that I offered up as options for you guys. As I said, the palette with the least amount of votes was the Kylie Holiday palette, which was kind of surprising to me in a way. I guess not, because the other eyeshadow palettes are more well known, but I just thought because it was like Kylie Cosmetics, I thought more people would vote. I guess those people are not on my channel. It is a really beautiful palette. The people who voted for this were really strong. with their reasoning for me to pan it. And so I'm definitely interested on hitting pan on some of these shades and trying them out at a later time. I think because of the shades that are in here, this would be a more like fall, like a late fall appropriate palette to work on. Something I could work on in like November-ish. Coming in fourth place was the Vice 3 palette. This one took me by surprise because I thought this was going to be one of the highest vote getters because it's a Vice palette, and you guys knew that I like all the colors. I do already have pan on 2 shadows in here, but I thought that you guys were going to say like some more about the Vice palette than happened. So that was really interesting. That was really, really interesting for me, and like worthwhile alone for me to do the viewer's choice because I learned a lot just from your guys' comments. But there is a lot of beautiful shades in here, so I will definitely get to the Vice 3 at some point. Coming in third was the Semi-Sweet Chocolate Bar palette. So I have pan on one of these shades already. This was just a very nice neutral palette. I just haven't used it as much. So many people were saying how they have this palette and they'd like to see how I use it, so that was giving me a lot of ideas and stuff as well. Coming in second, the Anastasia Master Palette by Mario. I was a little surprised that this came in second place. I was thinking that like the Vice palette would come in second place. And some people were surprised I even had this palette. I think it's beautiful. It is such a gorgeous eyeshadow palette, and I definitely want to get more use out of it. And the palette that I will be using, based on your guys' votes, and this palette got a lot of votes, it's the Kat Von D My Vida Loca palette. Is anybody surprised? Is anybody surprised? Yeah. I'm not surprised you guys chose this palette. This is exactly what I was thinking you guys were gonna do. It wasn't that I was leaning towards it when I chose it, but I wanted to see what you guys thought, and you guys know that I love color, so you guys picked this amazing palette, and I love it because there is that good little wheel of neutrals in the middle and in all the colors. I hate the packaging. I know that's gonna really annoy me. I find that with the Burgundy x9 palette as well because there's no mirror, and I just want to use the palette as it is. I don't want to have to take out other things to use, and I need a mirror, so that's going to annoy me. But there's so much I can do with this palette, and there's so much I'm going to do with this palette. I use this palette a lot, just usually in small doses, so now I get to use it in big doses. So I'm really, really excited to work on this palette and share my progress with you guys. I really, really want to do a palette bingo with this guy. I saw Laura May Beauty do that recently, and not with this palette, but with some other ones, and I really want to do that with this because I think that would be really fun and kind of challenging. I'd actually like to do a couple of them because I feel like there's so many color possibilities in here that a palette bingo, it's like it could almost be a series, like My Vida Loca palette bingo, and it would be so much fun. I don't know if I'll chicken out because Get Ready With Me style videos make me really, really nervous, but it's something that I want to do. So let me know if you guys would like to see that as well. I will definitely do some kind of like chatty Get Ready With Me for sure. Anyway, thank you guys so much for voting for my Pan That palette. Thank you so much for joining me on this panning journey. It's been a lot of fun. I'm really enjoying myself this year. I know we're still early in the year. It's only March, but it's been a lot of fun so far. A lot more fun than last year. Honestly, last year was pretty great too, but this year has been the best year yet. So thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know if you have any questions, comments, concerns down below. If you have any feedback for me at all, please share it with me. I'm always saying this, but I really do mean it because constructive criticism can help me improve my channel, and that's always what I'm trying to do. Some things I cannot help. Sometimes I get suggestions like use natural lighting. I can't. Sometimes people ask me to change certain things that I just can't do. So the things I can do, I always try and change or improve or just research and try and do something that would work better. So I do really appreciate when you guys let me know if there's something bothering you or there's something you think I could do better. Just let me know and I will do what I can, and if I can't, I will let you know why. So anyway, I hope you guys have a wonderful day or night wherever you are, and I hope that I will see you in my next video. Bye.